One and a two. Good evening, ladies and gents. It's your host Keith again. It's been a while. How you guys doing? Good evening. Yo, so December 21st, end of the world. Mayans gone wrong. Ascension. I didn't even know that the 21st could have been an end of the world sort of situation until this afternoon when I was reading another article where they were like, hey, the Mayans actually had it wrong. What they meant was December 20th. December 21st, 2020. And well, that's pretty much it. Anywho, some people think that maybe it's not the end of the world, but just a split. So what we're going to talk about is what the next the higher dimension will be and what it won't be. And first, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for tuning in. Feel free to hit the subscribe button if you're new. And yeah, okay, so check this out. Well, I'll read these from the article that sort of did the thing. You guys might have heard this a lot too. I'll say this. So I'm quoting this paragraph. It says, "This world is full of pain, suffering, and negativity. Two earth realities. One reality is the old reality, and one the new. The old earth is still battling light against dark, stuck in polarity." Yeah. So the next dimension's not. It doesn't get rid of polarity. It's like it's just a higher caliber. It's just a higher caliber of new polarities, if that makes any sense. It's like it doesn't just. If we went into, say, the fifth dimension, it's not like bad and good would cease or light and dark, quote unquote, will cease. It's just the way they manifest in your reality will be of a higher caliber. It's like think of, you have crime and you have organized crime. Whereas regular crime is not very thought out. It's kind of grungy and below the radar. Organized crime is like, think of the mafia. Those guys were wearing suits, walking around. They were in the judge. They had the judges in their pocket, the police officers in there. It was a whole nother caliber of crime. And that's that ascension. It's almost too, and I'm not sure why, but it's almost so black and white. It's like, what? Could you imagine what it would be like to go to the next dimension? And it's just like, hey, polarity doesn't exist anymore, because that's what the article said. Hey, polarity doesn't exist anymore. Can you imagine how fucking boring that would be? Like, it would literally be zero experience. That would be to say, hey, the only way to experience something outside of the all, outside of oneness, is to be in the third dimension, and that's it. Fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, ninth, your seraphim and all the things like that. Because say you get to the fifth dimension and you go, hey, this music, you couldn't say this music sounds great, because to say that the music sounds great is to say that it could have also sounded bad. You can't have, what are you going to compare great to if great's the only thing to ever exist, in other words? So you get to the next dimension and you're on this magical, beautiful planet. Like, oh, I'm in such great health. It's like, all right, well, as compared to what? Bad health? You know what I mean? You wouldn't have light and dark, so you wouldn't have contrast. So you wouldn't be able to take photography, you wouldn't be able to take pictures and dial in your contrast. So whenever you go to your editor and you crank up or crank down the contrast, basically what you're doing is you're defining the borders more clearly. That's why things pop when you increase the contrast. If you ever gone to Instagram, play with the contrast button again, crank the contrast all the way up, and it's like it looks surreal almost because you see every little like blemish and freckle, and it's almost like hyper definition. And that's because you're cranking up the contrast, you're cranking up the polarity. So when you take away all contrasts, when you take away all polarity, then you have pure potential, right? You have the nothingness from which everything sits in. But if you want to have an actual experience, you have to introduce polarity. It's fucking crazy that people are like, hey, polarity is, we're stuck in polarity. We need to get to the next dimension, and like that's where we'll be saved. It's like, nah, man, like it's a different form. It's a different form of polarity. It's not as bad as here. You know what I mean? It's not like here people will Earth is fucking crazy. Like our dimension is crazy. This is what people do. Like in the past, just probably 1 year, they'll be like, they'll sacrifice their life and their family and their friends and their loved ones, and they'll go join the military. I'm gonna go join the military, right? I'm gonna be trained to be a killer. I'm gonna sacrifice everything that I love so that I can train to fly this airplane that's gonna take a couple years. Fly my ass all the way over to God knows where, and I'm gonna bomb the shit out of someone because they don't share my beliefs. Which is, think Vietnam War. They were communist. We don't like communism. So we killed them. That's basically what we did. We're like, nah, dude, the communism thing, I'm not really feeling it. I don't really feel it. You should definitely be capitalist, though, because we're capitalists and we're killing it. You should be killing it. They go, nah, we're good. Communism's like where it's at, dude. And so we kill them. So, like, it's not going to be that bad. You know what I mean? It's not going to be that bad, but there's still going to be polarity. You feel me? Anyway, if you're not sure, we're talking about December 21st is the Saturn and Jupiter. They're like within 0.01 degrees of each other, and it's going to look like one solid star. And they haven't been that close in like 500 plus years. And it just happens to fall on the winter solstice, at least for the northern hemisphere. How crazy is that? Like, what are the odds? Anywho, that's why they say that the Mayans got it wrong. That even the Mayans say that they got it wrong. I probably should have checked the chat room to make sure that I'm not like muted or something like that. Ah, cool, we're good. Madada, hello, Suan, Azrael, Shadori, God Consciousness, Shasex, Jermaine. Padmeo, Agent Cynthia, Sochi. What's up, everybody? How you doing? What up? We haven't even touched texture yet. You're gonna have to elaborate on that, Patty, because I don't know what you're talking about. Peace, fam. The sky has been doing numbers, and I'm not one to be easily convinced by sky creatures. But an old friend from the hood posted a video of what she observed in the sky, and it was difficult to say what she was actually seeing. It looked like something major was happening in the sky behind the clouds. So many lights flashing, and figure it was eerie. Don't know what was going on, but odd. So Pacific Rim took place in 2020. I don't know if you guys know anything about that movie, but it's fucking awesome. And it's basically a dimension opens up, and at the bottom of the ocean, monsters start coming out of this dimension in like Godzilla style. And then every wave of monsters gets bigger and stronger, and so humans are fighting them in giant robots. It's one of the coolest movies I've ever seen. Surprisingly, not too cheesy. That takes place in 2020. So you know what? Maybe it's already started. Maybe it's already started, you guys. That's what you were seeing behind the clouds. Sage Crow 808. Ah, that name sounds familiar. Did you get some seeds from the shop? Did you buy the white sage seeds from the shop? The movie's called Pacific. Well, the movie's called Pacific Rim, but this video is not about that. If that's what you're asking. T, hello. Nova Noir, hello. Cynthia, how's it going? But that being said, it's at least another astrological excuse to be excited over. And I'm having my my release date is the 21st for, pretty sure it's going to be my single. I was like, should I just do an EP? Should I just release all my bangers and get them out of the way? It's the 21st, man. It's going to be a poppin' ass day, but I haven't decided yet. So I'm at least releasing one song. You guys got to sit tight. It's a good one, and you're going to like it. Some of you guys have actually already heard it. For just tuning in, we were talking about the Mayans had 2012 wrong. It's actually December 21st, 2020, which is a little more substantial of a date because while it's still on the solstice, we have a once in like a half millennia astrological event happening with Saturn and Jupiter. So check this out, you guys. The split. How do you guys feel about that split? Where some people on Earth go to the next dimension, the others stay on here or this dimension. Mike, how do you guys feel about that? I can't seem to wrap my head on if it duplicates itself or if or people just physically disappear. Like, it wouldn't make sense for people to just disappear like that. You know what I mean? Or you could say, is it really 2012? So not the end of the world. Let's end it. I'm ready. Yes. Fuck. I think it's a mental shift, consciousness split. Nothing physical. Yeah. Shit's weird though, huh? All I know is that if you are a believer, you better have your rituals in order, you better have your practices in place and ready to go, because if there's one night to unleash, it's going to be the 21st of December 2012. That's the one. That's the one. Get your moon waters, whatever weird shit you're into, and run it. And run it. Good evening, Benedict. See, Way to Woke 215 is asking me if it's true that DNA unlock on the 21st. There's fucking, yo. Here's another interesting phenomenon. Why is it that there's so many different versions of what's supposed to happen? DNA unlock, end of the world, 5D split, or just a general ascension? Like, why are there so many different ones, and each one thinks that their way is it? Or maybe they're all the same thing explained in different lenses. Maybe it is the end of the world. Technically, you have to end something in order to start something new, which is another reason why it's ridiculous to say polarity doesn't exist in the next dimension. It's like, okay, the only reason the next dimension can exist apart from us is because polarity exists. Like, if there was no such thing as polarity, then there's no such thing as the next dimension. It's just all the same dimension. You guys get these? You guys, are you wrapping your head around why silly or how silly it is to say that? Like this is the only realm in all of existence and all of eternity forever and all the different possibilities of existence. This is the only one. But when we go to the next level, then it's like, it's fucking crazy, man. It's crazy. Next week is last eclipse of 2020. Total solar. Ooh, thanks for the tip, Cynthia. Wouldn't the split be laws of attraction amplified? Whatever you put out comes back quickly. I guess, but could you be more specific? Like, what are you getting at? I'm sort of yes to answer your question. I've been in the room with people who don't get this. It's a time to establish one's self. Could you elaborate on that, Azriel? Next week is the last clip. But yeah, happy birthday. Whoever's birthday is on the eclipse. We're going to need you to come channel some whatever you get on your birthday during that eclipse, please. New Age, not the end. Hello, Aaron Collins. Amadeus, Darius. Hello. Happy you made the stream, buddy. Happy you made the stream. People don't understand melanin and true history. Oh, you know what's hella funny? I was watching Ashira posted it on your Instagram talking about, she wasn't talking about, it was a video clip of the Twilight Zone where aliens land and they're speaking to the president and his cabinet. And first of all, the alien was this overly nice guy, but it kept glitching and you saw like a hideous alien creature when it would glitch. It was super funny. But they're like, hey, we're here. Like, we'll give you everything. We'll give you unlimited clean power and technology. We'll get rid of disease. Like, anything you want, you got it. Clean, beautiful, pristine world. And they go, all we need is everyone with, like, I'm not sure what he said, over 200 milligrams per whatever. And the president and his cabinet go, what? Like, what the fuck's he talking about? Melanin. And the alien goes, you would call them black people. and they're like, no. So, you guys joking? He's like, no, we're not. Like, no, we're not joking. You have 3 days to respond. He's like, we're not going to coerce you. We're not going to go to war. But this is the only time you get this offer. And then they hang up and the president goes, laughs. He goes, oh, this is so funny. Like, could you believe that guy? And then they eventually talk themselves into really doing it. They're like, oh, well, I guess. And then one of the people was all like, well, how much worse could they treat him than they're already treated here? And it's like, none of this is a joke, by the way. It's hilarious. They're all like, oh, yeah, that's a good point. Like, maybe we should just give. They're like, hey, mate. And then they convinced themselves that it was a good idea towards the end. They're like, oh, well, it's like, it's a good thing. Like, oh, they're going to go with the aliens. Like, they might be excited about this. And so they basically give up the black people to the aliens because the aliens wanted melanin, which is funny, all things considered. So who knows, man? Melanin, DNA, or shift, planetary shift, fourth dimensional ascension, 144,000 something. I would assume if you really want shit to get cracking, just pop like 5 grams of pizza toppings and really tap into some shit. Nessa, what's up? Hello, good evening. How you doing? It's been a while. Hope you're doing all right. Digging it. Oh, I know. I got a little. I shot the music video for my release. I have a music video coming out for my EP, but EP release. So I got all. I trimmed up I trimmed up the beard, shaved back all the loose hair in here, even though there's probably still some in there. But my buddy was calling it. He's like, "This is the most." I forgot the words he used, but he called it a conservative freeform shape or something. I don't know. It's a lot funnier when you said it, but anyhow. It's funny as hell. People been chilling on PS4s and scientists talking about black people are aliens. What? How are those two things related? Oh, the release of the what book? What are you talking about, Amadeus? Amadeus. I'm gonna pull some cards for the December the 21st. As per usual. Let me get my handy dandy. Thanks for the compliments. Don't give me too much credit. We're on Zoom, and Zoom has a filter on the face. Zoom has a built-in face filter, so don't think I'll look this crispy in real life. But thank you, nonetheless. Haha. Ahoo. Virtual tarot hanging, y'all. Well said. Where are we at? Phone's at 1% battery. Well, you should probably plug that stuff in, Stephanie. Okay. Ready? Some specific. What? What? I want to say, like, what kind of ritual should we manifest on the 21st? Not manifest, but hold. What are we gonna hold? Savage. We got some Anubis energy hard for the 21st so far. And Pepito, you need some positivity? Man, well, we definitely got 10 of Wands for our first card. Jared Dobbs, you're drinking Deemsters? How the what? What? Okay. Rediscover the idealism and optimism of your youth to reinvigorate your vision. All right, I've already got a head start on this first card. I started running again last week. So I've been doing it. I've been getting the heart back in it. Been sweating, which I haven't been doing in months. So long as it's not healthy, man. So step one, get some goddamn movement back in your life. We'll read the general meaning for you guys out of the Hermetic Tarot specifically. So the 10 of this suit represents an all-out effort an obsessive commitment to a task which demands everything you've got. The person shown in the decks. Damn, nothing can be allowed to interfere. Lord of Oppression. It's a pretty gangster card. Basically 10 upright spears on fire. And we will pull the next card. With that being said, it's good because we have that album release on the 21st. So if you guys have a project that you feel like is not being successful, do not change course. In fact, double down and make sure that fucking gets accomplished. Then we got the moon card. Creativity. All right, use your creativity and shit for the all right, so you got lots of water, fire, but there's enough fire to make some steam, so not all the water's gone. And you guys know what we do with steam. Steam powers motors. So nice. We got a nice little, as far as the elements go, we've got a super hot card and 2 waters, which creates steam, which drives the Titanic across the ocean before it hits an iceberg. 10 of Wands is telling us that who gives a fuck if there's an iceberg? Hit that bitch, keep going. The moon card is our creativity card, feminine card, flowy card. Moon is in charge of tides, is in charge of like rhythm, right? So rhythm, dance, move, which is more movement. We're talking movement again. Ooh, and then the King of Cups. Forgot about the King of Cups. I didn't even read that one to you guys, which I don't come across as often. So I will read that one to you. Oh, again, the Knight of Cups. This is your moment to apply yourself fully. All upright positions. So the general meaning, it's traditionally entitled the Knight, but in some modern decks appears as the Prince. Traditionally, this card is this card in this suit has pictured a homecoming, portraying a return to his true heart's home after a long estrangement from all he holds dear. His taste for adventure is exhausted. There is no more romanticizing of battles or travel in strange lands. Now he wants